Do you have a lease agreement you'd like to terminate? Whether you're a landlord or tenant, at some point you may want to terminate your lease agreement. If you're the tenant, you may be ready to buy a property of your own. If you're the landlord, you may find you need to sell the property or you want to live in it yourself. Now, lease agreements usually bind the parties to the terms and conditions of the agreement until the lease expiry date. How can you approach the situation to achieve a successful termination that is mutually acceptable, allows flexibility, and saves the time and money associated with formal legal processes? Now, here are some tips to help you achieve a favorable outcome. Know your lease terms. Before you approach the other party, familiarize yourself with what your lease agreement says and understand your rights and obligations. Look for any clauses that specifically deal with termination of the lease agreement. These clauses may have conditions that need to be met, covering issues such as cancellation, penalties, or notice periods. Check the market-related rent as well as vacancy rates in your area. If these are in your favor, let the other party know. Communicate your needs. When you are clear on your contractual obligations and rights, contact the other party and communicate why you want to terminate the lease agreement. Explain your reasons and see if the other party is willing to accommodate you. Avoid making demands or threats. Be honest and respectful. If the other party doesn't fully understand why you want to terminate the lease agreement, they may become defensive. Explain the benefits of reaching a mutually agreeable solution, such as avoiding a legal dispute and maintaining a good relationship. Explore your options. Depending on what your lease agreement says and how the other party responds to your request, various options will be available to you. They may include early termination with a cancellation penalty, termination with no penalties, early termination and the obligation to secure alternative tenants, transfer of lease rights and obligations to another tenant, in other words, assignment, rental of your part of or the entire property to another tenant, known as subleasing. Once you have discussed the options with the other party, try to negotiate a resolution that's beneficial to you and both. Don't delay discussions. Resolve the issue as soon as possible before tensions arise. Be mindful of notice periods and ensure you comply with everything required to prevent any unnecessary challenges arising. To find the best deal, compare the costs and benefits of your desired approach and determine which option is the most attractive and affordable to both parties. Assess the risks and liabilities attached to each option, as well as any guarantees you may need to protect you or the other party from future disputes. A good rule of thumb is to ask yourself whether the desired route is clear, fair, enforceable, and consistent with both your lease agreement and any applicable laws or regulations. Once you and the other party have reached agreement, confirm it in writing. You should both sign a formal agreement reflecting the terms and conditions. To be safe, consult a lawyer and ask them to advise on whether the intended approach is legally sound. The lawyer can also assist in drafting the formal agreement, ensure all the details of your solution are properly addressed. Once finalized, you must then comply with your obligations and follow through with the agreement. Lease termination agreements can be tricky. Navigating the situation without professional assistance can cost you in the long run. I've been helping landlords and tenants alike for 13 years. If you'd like help with the lease termination, give me a call on the number in the signature below.